Today's stories include Battlefield 6's Battle Royale could arrive next week. Pokemon Legends ZA sales have been revealed, and Todd Howard says they're working on more Fallout. We'll have all this and more because this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. What's up and welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Friday, October 24th, 2025, presented by 5 Hour Energy. Blast through the Outer Worlds 2 in style with an exclusive skin for your Raptidon in-game pet, brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. When you purchase a Purpleberry Punch or Mock Melon Brew 5 Hour Energy product, you'll receive a unique code to unlock exclusive The Outer Worlds 2 in-game content. Of course, I'm your host today, Tim Geddes. I'm joined by the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning to you. I'm only half saying this because I don't fully mean it, but you need to make more cool shirts because I love your pink and yellow shirt, the Armored Core shirt.
That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Whenever I give stuff to people, I'm like, they'll wear it once to make me feel good.
Yeah.
I love it. But I, have a red and blue one that I did put a laser blue.
Okay.
Laser blue,
I mean, that's a cool word. Those are words that I like very, very much.
I mean, I think it's probably my favorite blue.
Yeah.
Laser blue,
shit. Okay.
You know what I mean? But the working on a very cool Kind of Funny shirt right now as well. Like
Exciting.
In my kind of in the off times.
Yeah.
I'm happy that whatever new merch thing we're using, which is Fourth Wall, I'm happy that I'm more accustomed to that system, so I can experiment.
You get to do your little, I like that.
And so it's usually it's usually me sending stuff to Joe. For example, the Kind of Funny Games Daily one for the KFGD 2000, the one with the letters, that the old school throwback one. Joe was like, "Do you have the file for this?" And I looked, I couldn't find it. I was like, "I'll whip it up real quick."
Awesome.
So it was like it's wild just how much time with and experience with halftones. The experience kind of catches up.
You taught me about halftones. I've always liked them, but I didn't know what they are. And now you be talking about
Nerdies and Greebles as well.
You taught me a lot, Andy. You've taught me so much. We got a great show for you guys today. But before we get into that, I have a couple I don't even call them housekeeping, just little things I want to say. First off, just talking about ads. There's been a lot of things I've been trying to figure out on the back end, and there's been Reddit posts, there's been just a lot of comments and stuff, just explaining where we're at currently. The problem of just random ads that aren't us, just random other people interrupting the shows should not be happening anymore going forward. I know what was going on, why that was happening. Now, that should not be the case. They should all be in the ad spot that the beginning of the show stuff, that's on somebody else. But just there should not be ones just randomly interrupting the show. So we should be good. If that's not the case, please hit me up and let me know. And then the other thing is, the beginning of the show, like the read we just did, the 5 Hour Energy thing, that there was a oversight this week for how this was handled. We were working through a lot of just new things with our new ad systems, and I apologize for Patreon members, for Kind of Funny members on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. Starting next week, there will not be the start of the show ad reads. I apologize. It was too late to deal with it this week because I was out of town for half of the week. But next week forward, it'll be solved. I apologize. Thank you for your understanding.
Thank you for your patience, everybody.
You had something to talk about, though.
Yeah, Tim. I have been using a PlayStation controller recently, which is a sort of a secret embargoed controller. I can finally talk about it because the embargo says that it was tomorrow at October 23rd, which is yesterday. Which is cool.
Yeah. I was like, Andy, it's not tomorrow.
I just wanted to reread that sentence so that you could also triple and quadruple confirm it for me. But if you could bring up the leak, Kevin, I've been using the Razer Raiju V3 Pro, although mine isn't green. That would be super sick if I had the green version of it. But the Razer Raiju V3 Pro is a controller that Razer sent to me. I love their PC controller, the PC/Xbox one that came out, I believe, last year. Very, very premium product, very expensive. These controllers are meant for the enthusiasts, for the people that are super into esports and they want the best, the fastest response time and customization with removing back paddles and all sorts of stuff like that. It's a really good feeling controller. So essentially, when Razer came out with their Xbox ones, the PlayStation fans are like, and the PlayStation gamers were saying, hey, can we get the parallel sticks? Because we'd rather have that than the offset sticks or whatever. We're used to parallel over here in PlayStation land. And so that's what they're doing with this controller. It feels amazing. It feels super similar to the Razer Wolverine V3, which is the Xbox one I'd been using. This is a very premium product. I believe, according to the little press statement, $219.99.
Oh, wow. Breaking that $200 mark.
Very expensive.
Wow.
And not a controller I could recommend to everybody. Obviously, not just because of price, but I think a lot of the Kind of Funny audience may not really benefit from this controller because they're going for full esports, for full like tactile feel, lightweight and all that. And because it's lightweight, no vibration,
no haptics,
no haptics, and no motion controls.
I don't know. Which just makes dual sense.
Hey, that's good. Now, not great for somebody like me who really, really loves, flipping my fish over when I'm cooking in Ghost of Yoke. Maybe I have some mushrooms and they're over the fire and using the motion controls to do all that stuff. Can't do that. You can't. You can't sway and swaddle the little fish over the fire. So that did suck. I almost burnt my fish numerous occasions. But yeah, no motion controls there. So I don't know if this is necessarily something I could recommend to 90% of our audience.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a person who's like, I only play Call of Duty, I only play Battlefield, I want the best feel, the quickest response, the trigger stops, 4 customizable back paddles, all of the stuff that you would and more importantly, remappable hardware where you don't have to open the software to do it. You can do it all on the hardware, which is like my number one thing that I'm always looking for in a controller. Can I just say, I want B to be in my back paddle now, or a circle? Well, now I want X because now I want that on my back button to be able to just do it on the hardware without having to open a third-party software, go to your PC, plug it in, all that jazz. Super awesome and convenient.
We're getting to a great place.
We really are. Man. We really are.
The last 3 years have been monumental strides.
Dude, we just need 8-bit dough to get there.
Yeah.
8-bit dough not having the remappable stuff, it's like, oh, that's it's really grating. And I'm like, hey, for the convenience and $20 more, buy the Scuff wired controller or buy the GameSir, which is the one I've been using primarily. I would say the Scuff and the GameSir have been my daily drivers. But yeah, this is again a premium product. I think it's very, very expensive, and like I mentioned earlier, no motion controls. Not what you would expect for a standard PS5 controller.
Yeah.
But if you're only playing shooters, it's probably going to work really, really great for you.
Shoot away.
Yeah, shoot away.
Remember, this is Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the video game news that you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon, YouTube, and now Spotify and Apple Podcasts to get our shows ad-free and a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of this show, YouTube Super Chat in as we go, like Frolicious did, saying, happy 25 years to Hybrid Theory. I'm glad we got Mike Shinoda and Tim on the show at the same time.
Thanks.
Yeah. 25 years today, Hybrid Theory.
Wow.
25, Andy. Oh, my Lord.
That feels ugly.
Old.
That feels ugly, yeah.
A little housekeeping for you today. Mike and Roger, 2 best friends, will be locked in a room and attempt to complete Silent Hill F while sharing a controller, while also handcuffed. Will they rise to the task or will they break? The longer you support, the longer they'll play. Support the madness this Friday, exclusively on Twitch, right after Game Showdown. Stay tuned. The set that they have built for this, I don't even want any part of. Things I've seen for this are horrifying. You're going to love it.
A lot of cool, surprising, creative stuff happening as well.
Yes.
But I can't wait for people to see.
I'm sorry, you have to see it. We're an 11-person business, all about live talk shows. Today, after Games Daily, you're going to get Game Showdown, which is a Nick Scarpino takeover. After Game Showdown is the Silent Hill F stream I was just talking about. And then Kind of Funny Gamescast will go live today at a certain point. It won't be live streamed. It's just going to go live as a VOD. Why? Maybe some people played an embargo game. Maybe they didn't. I don't know.
Wow.
Stay tuned. At some point today, something's going to happen on Gamescast. So check that out. If you're a Kind of Funny member, of course, you can get today's Greg Way. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney, the Psalm Twining. For now, let's begin with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We got 6 stories today.
Baker's dozen.
Whoa.
That was a good sound effect, Kevin.
That felt like he
You
had
did a
some
good
like actual
slowdown.
like sound effects on that thing.
I wouldn't have been surprised if there was just actual hardware
Yeah,
meltdown that happened over there.
exactly. Story number 1, Battlefield 6 may be getting its Battle Royale mode next week. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Battlefield 6 take on Battle Royale mode may be arriving as early as next week, according to a data miner. According to Battlefield and Call of Duty news account Modern Warfare on X, a recent data mine of the EA app has revealed new content for the game which isn't the planned Season 1 content. This new content's codenamed Granite and will be released on October 28th, the same day Season 1 starts. Quote, think it's safe to say this is the Battlefield Battle Royale, the account claims. Earlier this month, Battlefield Studios stated that a Battle Royale mode would be one of the first things to be added to the game apart from its season's content. There's much more to look forward to beyond our seasons as our team continues reviewing Battlefield Labs data, player feedback, and ideating on completely new ideas for the future, starting with an exciting new Battlefield take on Battle Royale, it said in a community update. Andy, before we get into the details of the Battle Royale, where are you at with the state of Battlefield 6?
I have just been so busy with a lot of video games that we played on the sponsored stream, had a lot of fun. It was an NVIDIA sponsor stream, not a Battlefield or EA thing. It was sponsored by NVIDIA, and really had a lot of fun and finding fun in a game mode that I don't necessarily love, which is never been a Battle Royale, which has always been a massive scale war zone of capture A and capture B. And you've heard me complain ad nauseum about my lack of agency in all of that, right? And how much I don't feel like I'm turning the tides, right? Where I could be dominating in one zone and then it's like, oh, we're losing 216 to 71. Like what it's just never quite been my jam. However, upon playing recently with Mike and Nick, I dedicated myself to Kevin. I don't know if you can look up right now on our Instagram, I believe. Roger broke out a little bit like for the NVIDIA clips, and I decided to dedicate myself, Tim, to becoming a medic.
Okay. A
And
little role playing in your Battlefield.
it just seemed like a fun thing to do. It's like, I really want to be good at being a medic. And, not only are you shooting stuff, but you're able to res people super fast. You have your little, what are those called?
I don't know.
What
Philanthropers. Filibusters. Bill something, right? I'm getting there.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah.
Philanthropers.
But
yeah.
defibrillator.
There it is. There it is. Philanthropist. I believe maybe it was on. Oh, there it is on the right side. So I'm rezzing everybody. And Nick keeps on dying, so I keep on rezzing him. And then at one point his body explodes towards mine after I res him.
That was Nick?
Yeah, that was Nick. And he's just like, I don't want to live anymore. Stop resing me. I don't want to do this anymore. It was just a hilarious moment. And I found a lot of joy being in that role, and kind of getting more of the rhythm, and a lot of it, the experience is heightened when you have Mike on our team, who is a lot more macro, which I am not. Like, me and Nick are so ADHD, and we forget what the larger goal is because we're just so stuck on trying to fight that one dude around the wall or whatever. And to have somebody like Mike being like, all right, we're pushing to B now, we're pushing to C, we're getting into the rhythm of Battlefield, felt really, really good that day. However, if there weren't 7 other things that I am playing right now, like, I would be playing more Battlefield.
So now,
I enjoyed my time with it.
2 questions for you. Is a Battle Royale going to get you back into that? And more, taking now the broader, the more macro from you to like the broad sense of it. Do you think that Battlefield 6 is compelling enough and engaging enough to a community that a Battle Royale is the right move at this point for them?
Yeah, I think so. Because I think we're treading towards the area where the heat and popularity and enthusiasm that Battlefield 6 had from non-Battlefield 6 diehards has waned a little bit. Like, that's just kind of the way it goes. When the game is brand new and hot and everybody's playing it, it's attracting not only the hardcores, not only like shooter fans, but also gamers on the periphery of those genres. And when the enthusiasm starts to wane, I think like it's kind of the perfect timing to say, hey, maybe those modes are stuff that you weren't really vibing with. Come back in for this Battle Royale. Like, I think that's like, it kind of feels like a no-brainer for the timing of it all. And not only to bring in like Warzone fans who said, all right, I had my fun with Battlefield, back to Warzone, back to my Battle Royale, back to Fortnite, back to my Battle Royale, whatever, Apex, back to my Battle Royale. This is gonna, like, I am super stoked to see this. I'm really excited to play this way more than the standard, mode, especially because of those only in Battlefield moments. All of the destruction, all of the levolution, all of that feels like it lends so perfectly to something like a Battle Royale mode of like you and your squad got to be the last one standing. Hell yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah.
Now, if I didn't have 7 other things to be playing,
I know, man.
But
ain't that the truth?
But I will make time for the Battle Royale where Battlefield 6 is more of like, yeah, I have an open gap here. Let's go. I'm super down to play it, of course, because I like a first-person shooter on keyboard and mouse. But a Battle Royale is something that is way more enticing to hop into.
Yeah, too many damn games,
dude.
G's been having a lot of trouble sleeping recently, just like baby kicking stuff. And
I thought she was like, when's Tim gonna beat Silk Song?
Well, it's funny you say that because she was talking to one of her coworkers. And he was like, "Oh yeah, man, I've been having a lot of trouble sleeping too, but like it's not because of a baby." She's like, "What's going on?" He's like, "There's this video game," and she's like, "Oh, like I don't play games, but like it's called Hollow Knight Silk Song," and she's like, "Oh yeah, no, I know about the bugs, I know about all this stuff," and he was like, "How do you know that?" And she was like, "What do you know about Expedition 33?" And he was like, "What do you like? How do you know that?" It was very funny.
Tim, you gotta beat Silk Song, man.
I beat it. You know what I mean?
No, but no,
hold
on.
I know.
But I'm not. I know that you know that I know that you know.
Exactly.
But like, I'm not even asking you to fully beat it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking you to play 3 more hours.
I just need you to know, Andy, I have every intent in my life. I'm a hold you and me to this. I will beat Act 3 of Silk Song. I will in my life. I promise. This is one of my favorite games I've ever played. Like, I fucking love this. It's just there's too much going on.
Yeah.
And right now I'm in Hades mode.
Oh.
So I just gotta keep doing that until it's done, so I can put it down. You know, and also all the other new games. It's story number 2. Pokémon Legends ZA has sold 5.8 million copies in its first week, making it the 5th best Pokemon launch. This comes from Chris Scullion at VGC. Pokemon Legends ZA sales have started well, according to the Pokemon Company. In a statement posted on the company's official corporate website, it was announced the game has sold 5.8 million copies in its first week. The Pokemon Company also notes that of these 5.8 million unit sales, which include both physical and digital versions of the game, half of them were played on Switch 2. Ex-user Pierre485, who specializes in video game sales data, noted that the figure makes Legends ZA the 5th best performing game in the Pokemon series in terms of Week 1 sales. The 4 games above it are all Nintendo Switch titles. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet sold 10 million in just 3 days.
Holy.
Legends Arceus sold 6.5 million in 3 days. Sword and Shield sold 6 million in 3 days. And Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl sold 6 million in 3 days. And so here we have ZA. And I go back to my anecdotal friend group, right, that I have. I have a group thread text message with like my core middle school, high school friends and the straggler friends they made along the way in their college experience that I didn't go to. So we got a group of like 10 guys on this thread, right?
Which are all very relatable anecdotes because everybody has the non-hardcore friend.
Exactly. And a lot of them, they would call themselves gamers, right? Sure. They do not listen to podcasts. They do not keep up with the news. They don't know anything. But when I recommend a game, they'll play it. Like that type of stuff, right? They all bought Pokemon ZA without asking me how it is, without, they're just like, oh, a new Pokemon's out. I'm buying that. That's the type of stuff that gets to these sales numbers, right? And that's just the freaking power this has. And all of them are like, it sounds just like people that get paid to play these games, the way they talk about them, where half of them are like, I hate this. What the fuck? Nintendo, and half of them are like, I fucking love Pokemon, man. Yeah. And I'm just like, there's something about Pokemon that is just like, it's unbelievable.
It's
like,
unbelievable.
It doesn't matter like if you are a nuanced gamer that plays every single thing, or if you only play like 2 games a year it's still a split thing of people being like, this is the best thing ever, or I hate people. How could you possibly think that's the best thing ever?
And how could you support this?
Yeah.
Like we are supporting a lower art form with what they're doing with this video game. But then on the flip side, dang, it's so fun.
Yeah.
And Scarlet Violet still made my top 10 despite looking the way it does. I mean, this is not surprising, and these stories become less and less surprising with how just we know Pokemon is insane and has been insane for many decades now. But to have half of them on Switch 2, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like those are really massive numbers.
I mean, that is a incredibly telling story, right? And I feel like we're going to be talking a lot about Switch 2 in the coming months as we do our end of year recap stuff, but also kind of like looking at the Switch 2's first, not year on the market, but like first, 3/4 of a year, right? And they've had very, very consistent releases, and we haven't gotten too much data sales-wise, but everything we've gotten has shown the attachment rate is just as good as the Switch 1 was, right? Like these games are still continuing to be many million plus sellers. And yeah, half these in 1 week being on Switch 2, it's like, that also says half of them aren't. Half of them are on Switch 1, which I can't even fucking fathom.
I've heard a lot of okay things about it. Of like it's 30 frames and it's consistent and it's like a totally viable experience.
I need to watch the videos. I haven't even seen anything.
Yeah, I've had several people in my Twitch chat telling me like, yeah, it's totally fine. It obviously isn't super sharp and it isn't 60, but it's totally fine. These numbers at the end though, just I mean, you can make lemonade with the best ingredients possible at an expensive manufacturing distribution facility and all that stuff, and you could sell gangbusters of that lemonade. Or you could have your daughter and her friends go out to a corner of a street and sell lemonade with just squeeze some lemons into some sugar and sell the same amount that the big manufacturer is doing. And it's like, and it's wild that we talk about the budgets of these games and how much less money these games cost to make compared to the other games out there that are selling half as much in their total lifetime compared to what these games are selling in 3 days. And those games are costing triple, quadruple the amount.
Oh yeah.
It's unfathomable how much money this company has. And yet we still see the level of quality just not quite be there. But the fun's still there. We're not excusing that. But it still sucks ass, Hey,
I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7.5.
Yeah.
And I stand by that where it's like, hey, there are so many parts of that game that I love, but there's so much stuff that I'm like, there's problems here that need to be solved. And we can't go too long on this because we have more stories to get to, Andy. But just a quick question for you.
Sure.
We are months away, presumably, from the reveal of Gen 10, right?
Oh,
Pokemon Day for the 30th anniversary, February 27th, 2026. It's going to happen.
10 days after my birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Put it on the calendars, everybody. Will it have voice acting?
No.
I feel like it has to. And I know that that's but I feel like every time that there's some Pokemon review, and like last time, the Scarlet and Violet, it was like, it has to run, Nintendo. It has to run. It fucking has to run. And now it runs. It fucking runs. The thing here is, it's the voice acting. It's the voice acting. And I'm not saying every single line, some voice acting. Give just your fucking rival friends a couple lines. Let them say some
we were
words.
saying like people
let them make some noises.
Give them the Animal Crossing. Like, here's the thing. They aren't incentivized to do that, Tim.
I think at a certain point, though, like the conversation, they're not incentivized to fix the performance either, but they did.
I mean, a lot of that is just, pushing the levers up because the hardware can do so. But if we saw these sales numbers and we were like, ooh, what a downward trend this is. ZA Legends only sold 1 million in the first 3 days or whatever, compared to Scarlet and Violet's 10 million. And then Arceus, if we saw a downward trend where the number one complaint was voice acting, which is still the number one complaint, but there is no downward trend. They're still selling a shit ton. They aren't. I don't think that they are incentivized to want to do that.
Yeah, I do think though, like you're right. I get you're speaking with facts here. I'm just speaking with like looking at the trends with how these people have made these games. We are at a point of no return of the way they're presenting these games is not the way they were presenting the games 2 generations ago. They're presenting them as if they are an anime.
Yeah.
With everything except voice. It's like they're cutscenes in these games. They're not like they used to be in X and Y and Sun and Moon. There's been a general progress towards a presentation that I think requires voice acting. Like, you watch some of the end cutscenes of this game, Andy, you're going to hate yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I already kind of do, you know, like, but yeah, I mean, I will dress up as Pikachu on a Games Daily.
Okay, here we go.
Face paint and all.
Yes.
If there is voice acting on Gen 2.
And let's just be clear. Let's really spell this out. It could be gibberish. If characters' voices have sounds.
Oh, wait. Ooh, I don't know about that. I'm not.
Dude, just give it to me. Just give it to me. Let's set the bar so low, Andy. Because, like, real talk, again, I don't want to go too long. I just want to say this. To me, it's not about the voice acting. It's about the presentation and how empty it feels without the sound of the emotion. I don't need the voice acting to be good. I don't care what language it's in. We just need, when we see a character's mouth move and there's epic sounds playing and sound effects and music and all this stuff, we need some level of there is a voice coming from this.
Yeah.
Even if it is Starfucks.
Or when somebody's like,
yeah, it's like, give me something.
Yeah.
We just need something to hit with the emotion, like the engagement with the product. Give me the gibberish and he's just a Pikachu.
All right, I'll give you the gibberish.
Yes?
I'll give you the gibberish as part
You
of
heard it here, everybody.
Yeah, I'll give you the gibberish. But also, I need the best modders on the market to take out all of my voice acting from my playthrough, mod it into there.
Yeah.
Because I've been killing it, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
I've been killing it. Az? How are you pronouncing this dude's name? Wish we knew. Wish somebody said it.
A to Z.
He's Michael Caine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, great. Yeah.
Labubu or whatever, the little guy, floating dude.
Rotom?
The other little.
You like cell phone?
No, the little other Pokemon. I think he's Penguin.
Lefty? Who are you talking about?
Oh, Floette.
Oh, Floette.
But the sound Floette makes is like Laboop or Fruludu or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're giving him like a Metal Gear Solid type voice.
Oh, hell
Solid
yeah.
Snake, you know.
Oh,
we need the best modders out there to take out all my dialogue and put them in there.
Oh.
Ben Starr is Naveen.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's just walking around.
Is he?
I'm
Andy as Ben Starr.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Me as Ben Starr. Yeah.
God, that's great. Well, everybody, we're gonna be right back with more stories right after a word from our sponsor. Greetings, taste buddies. Wishing you could sip the bold taste of tomorrow, today. Now you can with the ripest flavor creations from your friends, the makers of 5-Hour Energy. First up, we've got Mock Melon Brew 5-Hour Energy Shots, inspired by the new video game, The Outer Worlds 2. Mock Melon Brew 5-Hour Energy Shots have entered the flavorverse. Why bother with messy vines and sticky seeds when you can craft genuine flavor from the finest mock melons? Dive into the carefully curated flavor of sun-simulated sweet, refreshing watermelon and experience the stellar taste and interstellar energy of Mock Melon Brew 5-Hour Energy Shots. Looking for something even juicier? Introducing new Purpleberry Punch 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's got sweet, juicy grape, zealously zesty lime, and a warm ginger kick. Both flavors pack a powerful zero sugar wallop of 230 milligrams of caffeine, B vitamins, and nutrients so good it should be against company policy. And for a limited time, when you purchase a Purpleberry Punch or Mock Melon Brew 5-Hour Energy product, you'll receive a unique code to unlock exclusive The Outer Worlds 2 in-game content. Blast through The Outer Worlds 2 in style with an exclusive skin for your Raptidon in-game pet. Brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. Get your real mock flavor online at 5hourenergy.com and Amazon while supplies last. Blessing, thank you for watching live and being in the chat. You are the best taste buddy that I have. Just want to let you know that. Story number 3, Todd Howard reassures Fallout fans as Fallout Day 2025 ends without a brand new game reveal. Just know we're working on even more. This comes from Wesley Yin-Poole at IGN. Fallout Day 2025 has come to an end without the announcement of any new Fallout video games. Yes, there's a new version of Fallout 4, a new Fallout New Vegas bundle, and new content for Fallout Shelter and 76, but there's no word on any Fallout remasters, which some had hoped for, or less likely, Fallout 5. At the end of the Fallout Day broadcast, Bethesda design chief Todd Howard acknowledged that Fallout fans were probably left a little disappointed by this and promised that the developers working on even more Fallout. What that means exactly is anyone's guess, but even Howard did say that Bethesda is looking forward to showing fans what it's cooking. Even though I'm recording this, it's not live, and I'm probably watching myself right now from my desk, and I'm reading your chat, and that thing you want, and this other thing you want. Hey, we read it all. Just know we are working even more. We're working on even more. We're looking forward to the day when we can share that with everybody.
I think of just, when I look up and hear that Oblivion remaster took about 4 years to develop, and just how maybe they were weeks away from making the completely right call in saying, actually, let's remake Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas or whatever, right? To prep for this TV show that's going to be successful and not just be a TV show that comes out and everybody ignores and gets canceled after one season, right? And that in another universe, that is a massive success. But they chose Oblivion remake, and it was still awesome, and people loved it. And
major success.
And it looked great, and it sold gangbusters. But wow, they were really close to just like starting something else. and doing something in the Fallout universe that could, go really, really well with a tie-in sort of marketing scheme.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd go as far as what you're saying about like this instead of that. It's more because I do think that Oblivion, the time for that was right. I think that like it was long enough, and specifically feeding the single-player Elder Scrolls crowd was, it's been a while, right? Like we got Skyrim released 10 fucking times, but like the wait for 6 is going to be so far out. But your point about the marketing with the show, I think, is incredibly not just viable. Like we all experienced it. Yeah. We watched that show. I played Fallout for the first time because I watched that show.
Right.
And it's like I didn't stick with Fallout because it was very old.
Right. Well, the only reason I bring up the, why I think they would have benefited a lot more from going to the Fallout franchise is like that Oblivion remake came out this year, right? The same year as Avowed, another medieval fantasy thing. And if we just would have flipped genres, now again, you could flip genres to say, well, that's really close to the Outer Worlds or something like that.
Yeah.
But
this is the Xbox problem.
Yeah. Just make a modern day one. You know what I mean? What does a modern day RPG, first person RPG look like?
You're walking Cyberpunk.
There's a CVS you walk to. You fucking take a quest from the lady at Wells Fargo.
Like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
like Western RPG.
We just need that. It is good news. I think back to a couple days ago when we had our meeting and we're like, should we react to a Fallout Day sort of thing? It's like, there's probably not going to be a big announcement. There wasn't anything big last year. And then you reading this news story reminded me, oh shit, that did happen. And there were no announcements.
And that's always the roll of the dice when you do annual celebration days where you can't expect big things every single time. You're going to get burned. But every once in a while when it lines up, it can be magic. And going back to Pokemon, I do think next year's Pokemon Day is going to hit very hard because you imagine they're going to have the stuff. But when it comes to Fallout, it's like a little disappointing that they're not ready. I'm not surprised based on a lot of what we just said, but with Fallout Season 2 coming, it's like, man, how great would that synergy be if there was, again, a remake of one of the best, a surefire hit. We've had so many remakes of amazing games in the last year, plus more, right? Like, let's go back, the last 5 years. Yeah. But I'm thinking about Metal Gear Solid Delta, right? Just a win. Like it's Silent Hill 2, right? Like all the Resident Evils. Like there are so many, Dead Space, like great remakes coming out that when people are interested in a franchise, they have a good jumping on point that it's just a guaranteed win. There's not the like, is it going to be Mass Effect Andromeda? Like, is there going to be some, hey, it's a sequel, but this isn't what people are looking for. It's just an easy answer to get new players in to an old favorite, right?
Yeah.
Because new players or new audience that are coming from TV do not want to play an Xbox 360 game. And old school retro purists can be as mad as that as they want to. And I understand as well, to an extent, of just like, I love classic games and I always will love classic games. I also really love remakes. And I understand the value and importance of them for this very reason. And so yeah, I do think that they're put in an interesting spot with the Fallout franchise, where not only are the old classic ones, I'd say 3 in Vegas, not in a modern playable state for majority of mainstream people that aren't necessarily gamers, but on top
or people
of that
don't have like Game Pass and stuff like that.
Whatever it is, yeah. But on top of that, it's like the last Fallout was either Fallout 4, which is old at this point, or Fallout 76, which is not the Fallout experience that they are like, that we're thinking of, right? So yeah, it is an unfortunate timeline thing here, but you gotta imagine Fallout Day next year might have more to say.
That would be amazing, because, you know, thinking back to you bringing up, sometimes the old game is old thing and people don't necessarily want to play an older looking 360 game. And for someone like me, like, I thought those games were ugly as hell back then.
Yeah.
Like, back when the 360 was out and my friends were playing Fallout 3, I was like, this looks awful. Like, I just don't like the look and vibe of it all. And I would kill to see, you know, what similar to what we saw with Oblivion Remastered, this Unreal Engine 5, you know, remake on top of the old engine, where every asset getting retouched and every, you know, all the lighting looks so freaking fantastic. I think that would go so far for a franchise like Fallout.
Yep. Moving on to story number 4.
We do, by the way, you know, I guess you talking about how these anniversaries can kind of be a letdown at times. N7 Day, November 7th, coming up soon. What's the big news going to be for the Mass Effect anniversary, Mass Effect Day? My prediction is Saudi Arabia says no gay relationships in Mass Effect.
Wow.
I think that's going to be the big announcement
that they lead with.
No gays.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one.
I don't even want to continue the joke.
It's going to be a tough one.
It gets just worse and worse and worse, Andy. Jesus Christ. I freaking hate it out here. You know a good Gamescast idea?
What's
that we should do? Look at every anniversary happening for every game period next year and predict what they're going to do for it. Are they just going to do nothing? Are they going to do some fan announcement, some merch collection, or a remake or a sequel?
You're going to have, I mean, the only problem with that is you will have to listen to Barrett nonstop get angry about Zelda anniversary.
That is true. That is true. But we can deal with that, you know.
I can only deal with it so much.
Can you write that down? Can you put that somewhere of value? Because I think it's worth doing. Story number 4. Xbox boss Phil Spencer on AI use. Much more operational than it is in the creative space. That's a quote that we'll get to. This comes from Ryan McCaffrey at IGN. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer appeared on a moderated panel with Double Fine studio head Tim Schafer at the Paley International Council Summit in Palo Alto, California today, discussing big ideas, small games, creativity beyond the blockbuster. Random fun thing. I was hanging out with Ryan McCaffrey, and he told me he was going to go to this.
Oh,
that's a cool thing, because it's like kind of like outside of like the normal sphere of stuff. So
you saw the prequel.
Good on you, Ryan, for getting the exclusives here. In the panel moderated by Adilio CEO Gabriella Tafur, Spencer was asked about AI use at Xbox. He said that Xbox does use AI, but probably not how you might think. Quote, our applications of AI today are mostly actually on the security and protection of our networks, referring to voice and text chat on Xbox Live. It's now at a scale where you can't really moderate the safety of those with just people alone. The volume is too high. So we have AI that we use to make sure that the conversation and topics that are happening, and for protected child accounts and other things and who gets to talk to those accounts, to those people, is locked down by parents or guardians who are setting those controls. That's our primary use of AI inside our organization today, which maybe isn't the most glamorous use of AI, but it's something that I fundamentally believe in. He did, however, address the big question of AI use in the creative process of making games. On the creative side, I really leave it up to the teams. I found that creative teams will use tools that make their jobs easier when it makes their jobs easier, and any top-down mandate that thou must use a certain tool is not really a path to success. I look at the teams, and we make tools available, and I kind of let it organically percolate. He stayed on the AI topic, but pivoted to the idea of how it might be used for game discovery. An area that you've talked about that's interesting is discovery. How do I find the next thing that I might love? In that scenario where we are looking at some of the AI tools, it's not in practice today, but is there a way for us to use discovery based on things that you've done in the past to surface the next thing you might not know about that might be interesting to you? On the production side, which I think is where a lot of people go, we don't have any goals in our model for that to happen. I think more about the pace of creativity, maybe the number of things we can try and take risks on before we decide on our next opportunity. But our AI use today is much more operational than it is in the creative space.
I love the little quote that him mentioning, using AI to monitor voice and text chat, and a lot of different companies use that, and the volume is too high, and it's like I just want to Phil Spencer to be like, there's a lot of awful people.
There's just so many.
There's so many.
There's more of them than there is of us, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't necessarily something I'm super surprised by, in terms of using AI for, I think him mentioning that he doesn't, our use of it may not be super glamorous. I think that's awesome. Keep it not glamorous. Keep it for, monitoring stuff, security, whatever it may be.
Algorithms, things that it's been doing forever.
Yeah, forever. And before it was called AI, it's just like we need a spokesperson, like Tom Hanks or something. I need him to go on a Super Bowl commercial and say, there's AI and there's generative AI. And we've been using AI for decades. We've been using algorithms and programs to run things and do stuff smartly and efficiently so that we don't have a person on a computer clicking a button every, 5 seconds or whatever. Generative AI is the stuff that we don't love. And I think maybe it sounds like Phil was kind of, saying that the generative AI is like the glamorous part. I don't think he meant that, but I think he knows people's feelings on AI.
Clearly.
And yeah.
The talking around everything. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a very tactful the way he was doing all of that.
Which, I mean, I'm right there with you with everything you said about this. Like, I do think that this is a incredibly nuanced conversation when it comes to AI. There are some things that aren't nuanced at all, and it is just like you can hit it with a hammer if that's wrong. And I think that we need people speaking accurately about this stuff. And there has to be, at the end of the day, it's regulation. That's the thing that has to go down. And then all of this kind of goes out the window if there is actual regulation that is being held accountable and people are required to follow and companies are required to follow some level of ethics and morality when it comes to generative AI is also not evil. If it's ethically done, if all the assets being pulled from are owned by the person using it, right? Like, think about that, right? That's what a lot of people do. But
we're talking about like the data scrapers.
Exactly. Where it's stealing other people's stuff. It's like, no, that's bad. But if you're using this generative AI from assets that your teams have created and it's like a shared pool, whatever, that's all great stuff.
The way that No Man's Sky procedurally makes aliens from their own sort of assets or whatever.
Exactly. Like, there is a lot of good there. However, clearly we're seeing the regulation's not in place yet. So we are so many steps away from being at a place that it's like you hear all these statements and feel great about it, because this is, I think, a very tactful, well-said statement, and I do think that this leans on the, I'm happy these are the words he's saying, and it's not leaning just in the, because it could just be a, oh yeah, we're going all in, baby.
Yeah.
But the whole, on the creative side, I leave it up to the teams. It's like, that really is just leaving the door open in a way that they have to, because we all know the reality that this is happening, and we know what's happening at Xbox Studios. But that's the out that kind of sucks. Like, that's, I do think, something that you really gotta hold them accountable for and be like, yo, like, maybe you should be a little stricter. And yeah, don't say I found the creative teams will use tools to make the job easier. Thou must use a certain tool is bad. Well, sometimes thou must make a certain tool is ethical.
Right. I also think that the way we talk about these, topics regarding generative AI, I think we all need to be better about not doing the, hey, it's coming for us, so we got to adapt. I hate that. I hate that line of thinking, because you are already letting them take ground with that statement. You are allowing people that are really, really going to be profiting off of all this stuff, you are conceding an amount of your creative ground, saying, well, if we just accept it, and we learn to work with it, it's inevitable. I think once you do that, you are giving them even more of a green light than they already had.
I, again, agree with you fully, but I do think the reality is it's here and we have to deal with it. So it's like we need to deal with it, and regulation, man. It's like we need to be able to actually look at the stuff and not just blanket be like AI bad, which I think is the opposite of what you're saying.
Tom Hanks,
right?
Go on stage.
We need Tom Hanks. We need Tom Hanks.
Generative and normal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tom, where you at? Remember when he got COVID? I was so scared for him.
So bad. Like that was a sign, man.
That was a scary day.
Oh,
Waking up, Rudy Gobert, NBA's canceled. Rudy Gobert licked the microphone or whatever. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Because like the reality is we are in San Francisco.
Oh, I thought you were gonna keep talking about Rudy Gobert.
Sorry about that. I got nothing there. But we are in San Francisco. We are in the tech hub of America, if not one of them in the world, right? I know countless people that work at tech companies because that's the industry here. And the tech companies, they're all AI. If you don't know how to use AI systems, you're not getting hired. Point blank, period.
Point
right?
blank, period.
And it's like, that's just, we can sit here and be like, no, all we want. Okay, it's happening. So we should instead look at this and be like, cool, what rules do we need to put on this? How should we talk about this? What do we look at? It's like that we have to do that or else we lose. And I do think that there has to be a steadfast, united front where we're like, yo, many elements of generative AI are bad. Here's what we're talking about. And we need to win that fight. That theft is wrong, period. Stealing people's creative work is wrong. And until we unite on that, it's like, oh, shit, the bad's going to win because they're going to just keep taking, the mouse is going to eat all the cookies,
If you give a mouse a cookie.
Story number 5. Valve updates Counter-Strike tanking reseller market. This comes from Levi Winslow at GameSpot. Roger had a hilarious Slack about this where he said this. He was like, my friend group from like high school, this is their 2008 recession.
Yeah.
Counter-Strike is a mega popular tactical shooter, and one of the reasons for its sustained popularity is its in-game market. Digital items like gloves and knives go for thousands, if not millions of dollars. Y'all need to figure your lives out. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
And I thought the turtles in Fortnite were bad.
No, they like, yeah, there was that on my recommended channels on Twitch every now and then, it'll like feed me people I don't follow, but I saw like there was one weekend where Nade Shot, I think former CEO of 100 Thieves, and Tim the Tatman were just swiping the card, just doing the gambling thing, click the button, lands on a shitty knife or whatever, or not a shitty knife, a shitty gun skin or whatever. It's a big market, Tim, and it's crazy how these things can exist without like a whole lot of outside gaming people to even knowing that this is a possibility.
Yeah.
And I did, hear from friends that like, yeah, the subreddit's also like blowing up. This is like a disaster right now.
God. So they go for hundreds, if not millions of dollars, but all that changed within the last few hours as a new update completely wiped out roughly $1.7 billion, $1.75 billion in value. Almost $2 billion. According to a new Bloomberg report, in-game CS items ranging from guns to knives to gloves fell 25% between Wednesday and Thursday. In these 2 days, developer Valve Corporation pushed out an update for the shooter that altered the exchange rate for the items. Immediately following this update, the prices for the items tanked, with market analytics company Price Empire estimating the losses in the billions. This was a complete shock to the community. This completely changes the supply of Counter-Strike's most sought-after and expensive tier of items. A huge number of players have been affected by the update. One 20-something trader Bloomberg spoke with had $1 million worth of digital items in his inventory on Wednesday, but by Thursday he had lost upwards of $270K. Chinese players, who Bloomberg noted are some of the game's primary traders, criticized the price shift on the ByteDance-owned short-form video platform Douyin. This all led to McDonald to believe the bubble had burst.
What a weird reality we're in, man. Like it's just so bizarre that like this is a lot of people's livelihoods.
This is their lives. They're day traders in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, people have got like their future, their kids' futures in their Counter-Strike libraries.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like, look, there's so much about this that's like, fuck, how did we get here? This sucks for these people.
Yeah.
But it's also like, man, these systems maybe shouldn't have been put in place to be taken advantage of this way to begin with. But it is just, I think,
It already seems like it's kind of a shaky foundation if an update can do this.
This is a very, very fair warning to people of just like, be careful what you invest in, because at any moment the game can change and you could lose billions of dollars.
I really need anybody in chat to link the GIF that was very, very popular a couple days ago of Jake Gyllenhaal in that Jarhead movie where he's like showing off his guns and his knife and stuff, but some insane editor put him like in a Counter-Strike map and put like the weapons that he was using were different skins in the game. And it's like the coolest, best edited thing you've ever seen in your life. And I really need somebody to link that because it's end of watch. Oh shit, it's not Jarhead. All right, well that helps me out a lot. Maybe I could sort of narrow down the shit. I just want you to see it. Yeah. The shortest GIF you ever seen in your life, but you would appreciate like, whoa, that looks insanely good. Like somebody like rotoscoping everything perfectly and like matching up the angles of the guns. It was so damn good. Somebody link that, please.
Somebody link it, please.
Yeah, I need it.
God, though, Andy, billions of dollars.
So big, Tim.
It's so big.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Massive. But I'm tired of all the big stuff. If I want to know something very small, like the smallest news items I need to know about, where would I look?
You'd go to our last story, the We News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
We News for you. Mario will finally make his Thanksgiving Day parade debut with a 40th anniversary balloon. Look at this, man. And it's so funny because it's like, just put a little raccoon ears on him, and they nailed it.
It would have made so much more sense. Yeah.
Now it just looks like in Mario 3D World when he's going through the clear pipes.
Yeah.
Which I've never loved that vibe.
That's not his. He's only in that pose in a Tanuki mode, you know?
Yeah. Well, unless he's in the pipes. But yeah. But I will say, I love this guy's little tummy. Look at that.
It's a bulbous little tummy.
How crazy is it that, like, clear your mind. Thanksgiving Day parade, balloons. Top 3. What are the first 3 that come to mind?
Goku, Pikachu, Mario.
Mario's never had one.
Goku, Pikachu.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Thank you for Snoopy. But I would have went Snoopy, Sonic, and I don't even know if I would have had a third one. But like Sonic was like one of the the more iconic ones, which is hilarious.
You don't think Pikachu's possible or Pikachu, popular?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like Pikachu, I don't think is a surprise.
Oh, okay.
You know, but like Sonic felt weird always, but he's just been constant. So now Mario and Sonic get to hang out in air balloon form. Crazy.
At the Olympics.
Yeah, no longer. From The Verge, Netflix has shut down Boss Fight Entertainment, the studio behind the mobile game Squid Game Unleashed, according to posts from staffers on LinkedIn. Mouse PI for Hire launches on March 19th, 2026 on all the consoles, which, where did this info come from? This was just dropped on Twitter yesterday as far as I could tell.
This delay or whatever?
Did it get delayed? I thought this was the first time it was a release date.
Oh, I guess so.
This is a game we've heard about for so long, and
Troy Baker's in it. Yeah. I think we all thought that there was a window of 2025, because whenever I would go to the Fantasy Critic, I would always see it as a game you could bid on, assuming that it was a 2025 title. But maybe that was just the same assumptions you make whenever you look at the Fantasy Critic games that you could pick from. You see like unannounced Bloodborne remaster because that hasn't happened, but it's just people making assumptions.
People are saying it was in the Galaxy Showcase with IGN. Okay, that makes sense. And that it was delayed last week, and then they announced the date now. So, okay, cool. There we go. Can't wait. Looks good. Blumhouse Games and Eyes Out founder Corey Davis and Robin Fink from Nine Inch Nails have announced that the immersive and atmospheric narrative horror title Sleep Awake will be launching on December 2nd for PC via Steam, Xbox Series, and PlayStation 5. Cool.
Blumhouse Games doing it.
Yeah, but just like multiple games this year. That's pretty rad. From an EA press release, EA is excited to announce a partnership with Stability AI to co-develop transformative AI models, tools, and workflows that empower our artists, designers, and developers to reimagine how content is built. Great. Yeah, this is going to be cool. Controlled by Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. That's it for We News, everybody. All right. Let's go to our super chats here. Beautiful Chode says, Tim, thoughts on the TMNT
Beautiful
Magic?
Chode?
That's what it is.
Nice.
Good. Tim, thoughts on the TMNT Magic card designs? I haven't seen them. I know they were promoting these during Comic-Con, but I said this recently, like, I just don't like Magic card art. Maybe it's just the template of the cards, something like there's something about it. It's beautiful. I respect the artist. It's just not my taste.
So, okay. You're talking more of the format.
I think it's
the font, the
layout. The format I don't like for sure, but there's something about the house style of Magic cards. Like, I know there's a lot of like different like takes and like, whatever, but like the house Magic card style of when you take an IP and adapt it. To me, it's like there's this uncanny valley painter thing where it's like they're trying to go for this hyper realistic look most of the time that I don't vibe with. I respect it. There's artistry in it, but it's just not my thing.
I disagree. I hated the SpongeBob ones because those didn't try to do that at all. Like, I wanted to see every pore, I wanted to see like every detail, but the SpongeBob ones just look like screenshots from the show,
Yeah, see, I'd fuck with that. There's just something about these that like I don't know.
Oh, dude, I fucking that one a Splinter.
I love the colors on these.
Yeah,
more than most of the like the Final Fantasy ones. But
the colors, dude, the colors.
Anyways, this is not a hill I need to die on. This is a personal take.
Are you watching Smiling Friends?
No.
Damn.
One day, maybe.
Episodes are 12 minutes long.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
And there's like 20 of them over 2 seasons. Season 3 is really, really freaking funny so far.
Goldfish Boy says Tim mentioned a website that sells cool video game clothes a couple weeks ago. Any chance I can get the name again? I don't think that was me. I think it was Greg, and I think you're talking about Insert Coin.
Insert Coin?
Which is incredible. Big fan of them. Check out insertcoin.co, I think it is. Dolphin Corn says, I finished the Pokedex in ZA last night. I love this game. Congratulations. That's awesome. Jeff Bull Jr. says, are we cautiously hyped for the Halo game announcement today? I love Halo. I want Halo. Where you at, Andy?
I mean, I would love Halo Helldivers. That's what I want.
Sick. ODST Divers. Let's go.
Yeah, dude.
Divers in the name, I think. But yeah. Christopher says, Tim, have you tried Keeper with your Dolby Atmos system yet? It's amazing. Also, what other games and movies would you recommend testing out with Dolby Atmos? I have not played Keeper yet. People have sold me on it that I need to play through this thing because it does sound like an audiovisual trip, so I'm excited for that. God of War Valhalla, the Dolby Atmos mix in that is fucking unreal. Like, insane how much you can pinpoint where attacks are coming from and what's going on, and throwing like the weapons, like you hear it. It's incredible stuff.
What I really want you to do is sit in that theater with all the sound set to 11, and I want you to get into a lobby with us for Arc Raiders.
Okay.
Because like when I think of the most impressed I've been this year sound design wise, it's Silksong and it's Arc Raiders. Silksong is a weird one because it's a 2D game, and like how much could you actually do, but it's like stunning.
Yeah. And
Arc Raiders is unbelievable with just like a thing happening 4 floors above you, and you're like, oh my god, like there's something happening. Like, dude, it's so impressive.
Yeah, okay.
It's so impressive.
Very cool. Jeff Bull Jr. says Tim beat Cuphead. I did.
He did.
Cloudmaster says, Tim, how far are you in Hades 2? I'm nearing the end. I've beat Chronos 3 times. I have still yet to beat the upstairs person, but I've gotten to them.
Okay.
I've done so many runs, Andy. So many.
How many?
I don't know. Like 50 something. It's crazy. Joe Ferrelli says, not wise to get hopes up about voice acting. If it was not happening, we would have it leaked / heavily rumored by now. We all want it except TPC, I guess.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? I found the edit finally, and it's from a suspended account called CS2 Skincom.
Damn.
Damn, man.
Ignacio Rojas says, Tim, all your complaints for ZA have been addressed by Digimon Story Time Stranger. I won't give up till you give it a chance. You're going to be trying for a while, my friend.
Keep trying.
Samson L says, regarding voice acting in Pokemon, when they do introduce voice acting, would they also do the big change of having Pokemon say their names like in the anime, or would they keep the cries? I think that I'm with you. We got to change the cries. I think the cries are with us for at least another generation in Legends, and then maybe we'll change, but probably not.
What do you think they changed to?
Them saying their names. Pikachu. Yeah, instead of fucking Staryu coming out. Ah!
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. FROCN says generative AI is not only about stealing, it's about using water, electricity, destroying the environment just to generate a hello to somebody. The mega data centers. Yep. David says, Tim, are there any good third-party Joy-Con replacements? My wrists are seriously hurting playing Hades 2 in handheld. Switch 2's had a lack of third-party Joy-Con support. Yeah,
I wonder if a lot of that's the magnetized.
Oh,
like,
probably.
You know?
That's actually a really solid call.
That's a tough patent to try to figure out.
I'm also shocked, and can you believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it's been, 6 months, and we don't have a single colorway for the Switch 2 Joy-Con?
Oh, yeah.
Besides just what it launches with? That's crazy.
That is weird because they just put out the Pokemon bundle, right? I believe.
Yeah. And that's just a Switch 2.
I mean, but there's like a Pokemon thing on the box.
On the dock. Oh, but,
yeah. Like,
is there even something on the dock, or is it just it's a Switch 2 with Pokemon in a bundle?
Oh, it's not on the. No, I just mean like the actual box of the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like Mario Kart.
I don't think there's anything.
That's crazy.
There's no customization there.
That's
yeah.
Crazy. Red Hudson's saying 4 months. Whatever. That's still crazy for how Nintendo does this stuff. Steven says, Andy, the from Tron is a trend on TikTok right now.
Yeah, I saw. Some guy recreated it.
Yeah.
Am I still the right person to make this decision? Yeah.
Jose says, update on my Xbox Xbox Ally. Digging it. My first PC handheld YouTube channel. 128 KB. Very helpful for my newbie needs. I'm a big fan of 128 KB. Watch his videos all the time. Ball X Pit Expedition 33 running great. Hell yeah. Let's go to You're Wrong.
Dude, Ball Pit's so good.
Still haven't booted it up. Yeah. Got it though. Maybe this weekend. There were a lot from yesterday. Coral the Explorer says, this is somewhat nitpicky, but the Pokemon press release actually says half of the 5.8 million sold were played on the Switch 2, not sold. I know it's probably pointless, as I'm sure people aren't buying the Switch 1 version to play on Switch 2, but I did find the wording choice interesting. That is very interesting. I doubt there's any dramatic effect to that, but there probably are some people playing the Switch 1 version on the Switch 2.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah.
Jetstream talks about the how, yes, you can remap 8BitDo with their software. My whole point is not having to use their software.
Exactly. Yeah. So close.
8BitDo software sucks.
Well, everybody, you know what doesn't suck? The weekend. We're almost here. And you have a lot to look forward to because Mike and Roger are about to sit in a room and do nasty, nasty things with each other. Mm-hmm. Not to each other, with each other. You're going to want to watch it. It's going to be fun. After this, right now, we have Game Showdown. And then at some point today, a Gamescast, a mystery Gamescast is going to post as a VOD and on podcast services. But until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.